He owned skyscrapers that pierced the clouds, commanded boardrooms with a single glance, and could buy anything he desired without checking the price. Yet that morning, he walked into a small roadside diner and ordered the cheapest meal on the menu: 2 fried eggs and a cup of black coffee. No name, no introduction, just a quiet man in a tailored suit sitting alone by the window, testing something far more valuable than money. He was testing kindness. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet power of good hearts, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Brightly Kindness. Your support spreads stories that remind the world what truly matters. The diner was modest, filled with the soft clatter of plates and the scent of fresh coffee. Morning light streamed through wide glass windows, painting everything in a gentle glow. He looked out at the busy street, unnoticed, unrecognized. To the world, he was a titan of industry, a billionaire whose name appeared in financial magazines. But today, he was just another customer in a navy suit, sitting patiently in a red leather booth. Her name was Emily. She was 24 years old, working double shifts to support her younger brother after their mother's passing. Life had hardened her schedule, not her heart. Her hair was neatly tied back in a low ponytail, her blue uniform pressed despite the long hours. Dark circles rested faintly beneath her eyes, but her smile remained sincere. When he ordered the cheapest meal, she paused for half a second, not in judgment but in quiet concern. She noticed the expensive watch peeking from under his sleeve, the polished shoes, the posture of someone accustomed to authority. She had seen wealthy customers before, and most ordered lavish breakfasts without blinking at the price. Something about him felt different. Many in her position might have rolled their eyes or assumed he was being stingy. Instead, Emily's reaction was gentle. She treated the order as if it were the most important request of the morning. She made sure the eggs were cooked perfectly, yolks golden and unbroken. She warmed the plate so the food wouldn't cool too quickly. She refilled his coffee without being asked. When she placed the simple meal in front of him, she did it with the same care she would give a celebration feast. The billionaire Daniel watched her closely. For months, he had been searching for something he couldn't find in boardrooms or balance sheets. After a painful divorce and betrayal by a trusted executive, he had grown suspicious of motives. He wondered if genuine kindness still existed, or if everything came with a hidden expectation. Wealth had built walls around him. He wanted to know if someone would treat him with respect without knowing who he was. Emily didn't know she was being tested. She only saw a man eating alone. When she noticed he hadn't touched his food for a moment, she worried it wasn't good enough. Not wanting him to feel embarrassed if money was tight, she quietly applied a small employee discount to his bill without telling him. It would come out of her own tips later, but she didn't hesitate. She had known what it felt like to stretch a dollar. Daniel saw the adjusted total when she set down the check. His sharp eyes caught the difference. He realized what she had done. She assumed he might be struggling and chose compassion over judgment. That simple act struck him harder than any corporate negotiation ever had. He finished his meal slowly, observing her as she moved from table to table. She listened when elderly customers rambled. She laughed softly with a tired construction worker. She carried plates with steady hands despite exhaustion. There was no performance in her kindness. It was instinctive. What Daniel didn't know was that Emily was facing eviction. The diner barely covered rent, and medical bills for her brother's asthma treatments were piling up. Every morning she fought anxiety before tying her apron, yet she refused to let bitterness define her. She believed that if she kept choosing kindness, life would eventually soften. When Daniel stood to leave, he felt something shifting inside him. For years, he had invested in technology, real estate, and luxury ventures. Rarely had he invested directly in people without contracts attached. But Emily's small sacrifice for a stranger revealed a truth he had almost forgotten. Character reveals itself most clearly when no one is watching. He placed several crisp bills beneath the receipt, far more than the meal cost, and walked out without a word. Emily didn't notice until she cleared the table. Her hands trembled when she saw the amount. It was enough to cover 2 months of rent. Tucked beneath the money was a simple note written neatly: kindness should never go unnoticed. Tears blurred her vision. For a moment, the weight she had been carrying felt lighter. It wasn't just the money, it was the validation. Someone had seen her effort. Someone had valued her heart. But the story didn't end there. The next afternoon, a sleek black car parked outside the diner. The owner rushed in, nervous, announcing that a prominent investor had purchased the property that morning. Employees feared layoffs. Emily felt her chest tighten. She couldn't afford to lose this job. The door opened, and Daniel walked in, not as a quiet customer this time, but as the new owner. Murmurs filled the room. Emily's face went pale as recognition dawned. She worried she had done something wrong. Instead, Daniel addressed the staff with calm authority. He explained that he believed businesses should be built on dignity and care, and that he had seen something rare within these walls: genuine humanity. He announced renovations, fair wages, and healthcare benefits for all employees. He spoke about creating a community hub rather than just another diner. Then he turned to Emily. He didn't expose her private struggle, but he acknowledged her integrity. He offered her a management training program, paid education, and a leadership role if she wanted it. In that moment, her world changed, not because she had impressed a billionaire, but because she had remained kind when it would have been easier to become cold. Daniel later admitted to himself that he had walked in searching for proof that goodness still existed. He found it in the quiet hands of a waitress who thought no one important was watching. Years passed, and the diner transformed into a chain known for fair treatment and community outreach. Emily became one of its leading directors, ensuring